episode of the One More and I'm Out of Here and the podcast hasn't even started yet. And you guys are lighting me up in the chat already. I mean,
I fucking love it.
For God's sake. I'm going to own it. I totally whiffed that we were doing a podcast today. It was and I did check. It was on the calendar in my phone. But normally there's a little thing on there. It pops up and it's a, I don't know whatever. It's a thing that pops up there and says you have a podcast.
Notification.
It did. Well, it didn't pop up.
You didn't get a notification.
I did not get a notification.
When
you called me, I thought we were just going to have a little friendly chat, but no, it was not friendly.
No, we're going live in fucking 8 minutes, dude. Are you going to fucking get here or not?
I'm here.
You are here.
I'm here now, and we're 22 minutes late. So there you
go. Jill was actually getting excited. She was like, "Do you need me to sit in?" I'm like, "Well, fuck, I might."
She might. She's out walking the dog.
I know.
I saw her.
Well, once I made contact with you as you were leaving the Home Depot on a Saturday, not sure if you were going to have time or not, but you made.
I got a little work I got to do around the house. Picked up a couple of things from the Home Depot.
You made time for the podcast,
but that work is going to wait because I'm here.
I'm Jason.
How you doing, buddy?
Good. This show's been set up.
A little hungover from last night?
No, actually, I got way drunk last night, but it was in bed super early. So
really
woke up with bells on. Got the show situated. Was only missing a partner for a few minutes, but we got it all set up early. No, it was a good night last night. Our buddy Tom.
I got to do something about this chair.
Yeah, you do.
It's too low.
Well, fucking raise
it won't go up any higher.
No, well,
I've tried.
Well, we can put you on phone books if you want.
I'm gonna have to do something because you're sitting higher than I am.
Yeah, and you're taller than me.
I know it's not right.
But so had a fun night last night. Our buddy Tom Glazer, they had a surprise 50th birthday party for him.
Really?
At the Anderson Tap
Tom
House.
is 50.
Tom is 50.
Happy birthday, brother.
Great turnout. Yeah, we'll drink to Tom.
There you go.
Great turnout. But I am going to blast a little bit right off the rip. I'm a little bit irritated. So we had a really, really good fundraiser for our partner, Rob. And the proprietor of a certain place where we had said fundraiser opted to not donate a fucking dime. Not a fucking dime. And I'm a little bit fucking irritated about it. So I'm going to go on a social media blast here probably tonight after I have a few more beers.
That always helps.
I'll get reported to Watchful Eyes of Anderson.
You want to,
and wherever. I don't give a shit. You could have given $100 at least. Didn't give a fucking dime. Yet he had a record night that night. So I'm not gonna.
Well, that was the thing.
Anybody that's around here knows where it was. I'm not gonna say the name just because I don't want to get a fucking cease and desist letter. But the proprietor's name is Joe, and he's a piece of shit. So that's my thoughts.
I would only add to that, not that we don't appreciate the use of the venue, because that obviously has some value in and of itself. But here's the thing. We didn't really put any imposition on their staff, because we did. I mean, when I say
did the work.
I mean, you and everyone else who was involved. We took care of all the setup, all the breakdown, probably most of the cleanup, I would imagine.
Cincy 513.
Before, during, and after.
Good man. He said it. I did.
There was, as far as the alcohol and the beverages were concerned, I mean, there wasn't any discounts given on that, is my understanding.
Nope.
I'm sure the wait staff were tipped generously.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna take up the whole podcast, but it just pisses me off because I just found this out yesterday, like confirmed. Yeah. And it's very disheartening because that place is not in a good way right now anyway. And again, we gave them a record night from their St. Patrick's Day last year. They hadn't had a night like that. So just a little bit disheartening. We're supposed to be a community and supporting, people in the community.
Just a little something would be.
Yeah. $100. Hey, thanks. But whatever. So that's my rant on that. Right.
Well, let it go.
Cincy 513 is in the chat. So he said what he said, but then he said, I'm feeling extra left wing today. Let's dance, fellas. I love it. Oh yeah. We got some stuff.
Where do we start?
Well, I take a drink of my beer.
All right.
And let's talk about since he's president. Let's talk about that. The fact that I'm pulling it up. Hold on.
Oh my God.
Since he's president, says his uncle got eaten by cannibals, but yet the White House walks back on it. And I'm gonna steal something from Drinking Bros, where Ross Patterson, he never says Corinne Jean-Pierre. He always calls her Jean-Luc Picard, which fucking cracks me up. So, since he's president, says that his uncle was shot down over New Guinea in a land that was inhabited by cannibals.
The land of cannibals.
And the body was never recovered.
Never recovered.
So, I saw this morning because I didn't look at much news yesterday. And I saw it this morning and just started giggling. So, my grandfather was in the Army Air Corps and was stationed in New Guinea and made it back perfectly fine. But the fact that he said what he said, and then his staff completely contradicts what he said. So I've got a couple videos that I'm going to play, but I found it very, very entertaining. So hopefully there's not an
My uncle, they called him Ambrose, Brosey, they call him Bozy. My Uncle Bozy was a hell of an athlete, they tell me, when he was a kid. And he became an Army Air Corps before the Air Force came along. He flew those single-engine planes as reconnaissance over war zones. He got shot down in New Guinea, and they never found the body because there were a lot of cannibals for real in that part of New Guinea.
For real.
Well, there's just one problem. The military's official record of the incident mentions nothing of cannibalism or his plane being shot down. It says that Biden's uncle died after the plane crashed into the ocean off the coast of New Guinea. Press Secretary Corinne Jean-Pierre responding just moments ago.
Look, you saw the president. He was incredibly proud
Nice
of his
hairdo.
uncle's service in uniform. You saw him at the War Memorial. It was incredibly emotional and important to him. You saw him respond to all of you when asked about the moment yesterday. And his uncle, who lost his life when the military aircraft he was on crashed in the Pacific after taking off near New Guinea. The president highlighted his uncle's story as he made the case for honoring our sacred commitment to equip those we send to war and to take care of them and their families when they come home. And as he reiterated that the last thing American veterans are suckers or losers, and he wanted to make that clear. He wanted to make the story. I mean, look, I don't have anything beyond about what I just laid out, but it was a really proud moment for him.
So that fucking retard throws in so much extra fluff and doesn't explain anything, right? She just throws in a bunch of words. Like she just, literally hits you with just diatribes of bullshit. She walks around the topic. She dances around it. And again, this other video I'm going to show, like Peter Ducey is her arch nemesis, which I fucking love.
Ducey's the greatest.
So, and we'll get into our debate with it after this video. But
this week, Biden told us cannibals ate his uncle in New Guinea.
My uncle, they called him Ambrose, Brosey, they call him Bozy. My Uncle Bozy was a hell of an athlete, they tell me, when he was a kid. He flew those single-engine planes as reconnaissance over war zones. He got shot down in New Guinea, and they never found the body because there were a lot of cannibals for real in that part of New Guinea.
Primetime still can't get over the story. The Pentagon called Biden a liar. The truth? Uncle Bozy was the passenger in a plane that went down in the Pacific when its engines failed. There was even a survivor who never mentioned anyone being eaten.
Why is he saying that his uncle was eaten by cannibals? That is a bad way to go.
He lost his life. It's not, look, I'm not, we should not make jokes about this.
It's not.
Wait.
President Biden said that his uncle was eaten by cannibals.
I mean, your last line, it's for a laugh. It's for a funny statement. And he takes this very seriously.
No one takes this more seriously than New Guinea. Diplomatic relations between the United States and New Guinea have now hit an all-time low. Turns out you accuse a country of eating your uncle, they don't take it lightly. Countries have gone to
What the fuck? So I've got a couple takes on that. A,
Fucking doozy.
A,
It's a bad way to go.
The fact that, again, his fucking staff walks it back from what he said. And they're like, oh, fuck, we got to figure this out. And we just watched a clip from our buddy Zeke Arkham that I should have pulled up, but I didn't. But his staff walks it back and completely debunks what he's saying. The other question is Corinne Jean-Pierre's getting a little fluffy in the face? And I mean, I know she's gay, but I think she's eating a ton of pussy.
I was going to say, maybe she's pregnant.
She's gaining weight. She's gaining weight, and I think she's the cannibal and not necessarily Joe's uncle.
She's eating something.
But what the fuck, man?
Well, Joe Biden has always been a well-known and documented liar and plagiarist. So for him to speak this way is absolutely nothing new. The part about this that really bothers me, though, okay, Joe's he's a funny man, he's a funny guy, but he's always got to try to find common purpose with the people he's speaking with. And then he uses this story as his uncle being shot down during World War II as a preamble to say that when Trump had his opportunity to visit grave sites in Normandy, in France, that he didn't do it because, the real reason he didn't do it is because he was supposed to fly there on Marine One. The weather was horrendous that day, very low ceilings, and you can't fly a chopper in those kind of conditions. So the pilots are the ones who make that decision when it comes to not flying. So he was not able to attend whatever event was happening there that day. The other thing you heard Corinne Jean-Pierre say it, use the term suckers and losers. They are perpetuating this lie that Donald Trump, when he said he didn't want to go to these grave sites, is because those guys who got killed on the beaches were a bunch of suckers and losers.
Right.
And that has been debunked multiple different ways. It is one of the most disgraceful things that I can think of. He never said it. John Bolton, who was working for Trump at that time, was around him that entire time, and he was asked about it, and multiple times he has said, no, didn't happen, never said it, not true. Absolutely 100%, and I'll drink to that. And the media wasn't going to let it go, and they asked everyone who was in proximity to Trump during that entire trip, and not a one of them said that's even close to being true. So he uses this fake and false, phony story to try and slam dunk on Trump. But as it should, it just winds up backfiring right in his face.
Well, and here's
clown.
the thing: when I heard that last part, the suckers and losers or whatever, none of our fucking presidents, administrations have taken care of our fucking veterans the way they need to. Period. Republican, Democrat, I don't give a shit. And our buddy Rich is in the chats. I mean, he's huge in pushing veteran assistance and all this stuff. We treat our veterans like shit, and we have for years. So I don't give a fuck what president it is. So since we can agree on this, I would assume, at least hopefully we could agree on this, is none of these administrations have done what they need to do for our fucking veterans, our homeless veterans, our sick veterans. But to throw that little ting at the end, fuck you. You're not doing anything anymore. Oh, Jesus Christ. Clean up in aisle 4. Yeah, you're fucked. Use your shirt. I don't know what to tell you.
I need a towel.
Can't take you fucking anywhere.
I know. I just knocked my beer over.
You fucking
right on my computer.
Jesus Christ.
That's not good.
But yeah, I mean, it's to throw that little shtick in at the end pissed me off too. In the fact that they're again coming up on an election, so they're trying to tug on the heartstrings of veterans and our president Joe Biden, he supports you. No, he doesn't. None of them
Shit.
have. None of them have. But yeah, that fucking video and the fact that his uncle got eaten by cannibals. My grandfather was in New Guinea. And he made it back.
He made it back.
He made it back. So apparently he either
lose a finger. Or...
He smelled weird. I don't know. They didn't want to eat him. I don't know. But he was in the Army Air Corps as well. But that was just so funny. And then, of course, Peter Ducey. Well, that's a hell of a way to go. We're not making jokes. Well, that whole statement's a fucking joke. So I found that one very, very entertaining.
But it's amazing how much play that got. Because that day, he told that story. The cut I used when I did my radio show the other night was him at the airport on the tarmac telling that story. Then he told that story. He told it like 3 or 4 times that day about and he repeated it the same time. And he talks about his uncle was a pilot flying those single engine planes. Well, his uncle was not a pilot. He was a ground crew member. And he was on board, and it was a twin engine airplane, not a single engine airplane. And it went down in the ocean. It didn't go down on land. So it's just amazing. I don't know if he's like going to an event and all of a sudden this wonderful memory just pops up in his head.
He gets an epiphany. He's like, "Oh, I remember when my uncle touched me." Oh wait, no, he was a pilot. That's what it was. It was that joystick that he was using. Fucking clown. We do got to do something about that chair.
I know it's too low.
Here, hold on. Let me see if I can.
No, don't lower your chair.
There.
Well, but I know. But
now we're even.
I know, but it's still. It looks ridiculous.
Well, I offered to buy you a chair, and
we had this one at home. It wasn't being used anymore. Now I know why.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Don't make your chair lower.
I can't do it.
I've tried to make this one higher, but it just doesn't.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Now he's going to spill something. He's going to break something.
It doesn't go any higher.
Yep, you're fucked. Well, happy Saturday, everybody. It's a good way to start your Saturday.
God.
Get through the last half of your weekend by dealing with that stupid bullshit. Dan, do you have anything?
Yeah, remember we had the video of the protesters in San Francisco on the bridge?
Yes.
Some of them might wind up facing some consequences on that.
Good, as they should.
I know. It's really weird. So we had the pro-Palestine protesters out there, and then they were in the barrels, and then they were blocking the things, and so the police. I mean, it's every once in a while there's like a glimmer of sanity when it comes to the stupid shit that's happening in our world. And now this prosecutor's out there saying, yeah, some of them might face charges. I mean, I'm not going to hold my breath on it. But that's the thing. I mean, they get away with this kind of crap. And when you do, it just encourages others to do the same thing. But they should be made an example of. That you go out there, you block traffic, you're going to wind up, paying a huge fucking fine. I don't know how much jail time is appropriate for something like this, but a little time.
Let's just hypothetically
locked up.
Let's hypothetically say I go out and I've got a poster board that I had Zoe make with a bunch of glitter and shit saying, go fuck yourself if you don't agree with me, whatever the sign may say. And I sit in the middle of Beachmont Avenue. I stand a risk of getting housed by a fucking car, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the police are going to show up. What happens to me? Chances are I get scooped up. I get taken to the fucking clink. They may release me, but I'll have a ticket or a court date or whatever. It's no different if I did it 30 minutes after this podcast is over.
But the district attorney is urging people who were caught in that delay.
I hope so, Andrew.
To send them a letter, and then so these activists could wind up being charged with false imprisonment because these people they were prisoners on that bridge. Where you get jammed in on that bridge, it's not like you could turn around and go the other way. You had to. I mean, they were stuck there for a certain amount of time. And I was looking through this article to see what the sentence for something like that is, but I'm not seeing it in this piece.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. I'm obviously not a cop. I don't know, not an attorney, but I would think disturbing the peace would be a good charge.
That would be a good one.
That'd be a good charge.
But again, if you've got 500 people or 1,000 people who were jammed up on that bridge, each one of those is an individual charge.
It should be, yeah.
So now you're facing 1,000 charges.
I agree.
Of false imprisonment.
Get the fuck out of here.
And really, for no other purpose than to make their life a living hell. That'd be fantastic. 26 different protesters.
My day has been completed now. Jonathan Bates is in our chat. My partner on illegal
How about
shit.
that?
He's in the chat. Now he's saying that we stole shit from him, but that's bullshit.
Such as?
It's bullshit. The hammer the like button banner, which is bullshit. Because all I had to do was type that in. He's saying industrial espionage. That makes the whole Thursday show finally makes sense. There, see, you're getting it. You're getting it. John, I love you. I'm glad you're here. I miss your face. And I won't stop saying bullshit. Let's circle back to our teacher. My favorite segment. So Falk sent me this article. Let's see, where's that? So we covered this our last show. This is a substitute teacher that was caught in a vehicle with a 17-year-old boy who, when the cop showed up, he freaked out, took the car, and ended up crashing it like 2 blocks down the road.
Is that what we all do? When you're banging a teacher in the back seat, you get out with your undies on and start running
and leave her and say, "See you, bitch, bye."
Yeah.
I'm taking your car. Well, so apparently Falk sends me this email, and I was laughing so hard when I saw it. So this is her mugshot. A little bit different. So I'm going to scroll there to there. Nice school picture.
And that mugshot is pretty horrible.
It's picture day, and now it's picture day.
I mean, that kid must have been working her over pretty good, man. If she went from A to B, that 17-year-old kid's got it going on.
Well, come to find out, and I'm gonna read this. Obviously, you guys see it on our screen, but a teacher who was caught naked with a student is reportedly married to a high-ranking United States government official. According to the New York Post, 45-year-old Aaron Ward, who allegedly confessed to having sex with a 17-year-old student from Burke High School, where she worked, is married to Doug Ward, a high-ranking federal government employee. Their relationship was reported first by the Daily Mail, per the outlet, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Doug Ward has spent almost 2 decades with the U.S. Strategic Command, which is headquartered at the Offutt Air Force Base in Omaha, Nebraska. Neither one has been very strategic.
Obviously not.
But how fucking funny!
I mean, if you're a guy and
we never get a follow up on these teachers.
Yeah, if you're a guy and that's your wife, though, how do you go into work the next day? I mean, how are you driving
a Honda Pilot? First, it was a Honda Pilot.
Well, I mean, it might have been her car.
Really, you work for the Strategic Command? I think you're making a decent salary. I mean, I'm not saying you're fucking loaded.
Probably not, but
you'd be driving something better than a fucking Honda Pilot.
Well, she's a teacher. She's a substitute teacher.
Okay.
I've driven a Honda Pilot before. I don't like them. There's a lot of Hondas I have driven and I've owned a couple of Hondas that I do like, but I didn't like the Pilot.
It says that the command, one of the unified combatant commands within the Department of Defense, is tasked with detecting and deterring attacks against the United States and its allies. Well, he did not deter an attack against his wife's pussy. That is fact.
Couldn't defend it from a 17.
A 17-year-old. He could. I was so glad when I got that.
I mean, if that's a guy that you know, and you know his wife is a teacher, she gets caught banging a kid. What do you say to that dude? I mean, when you see him at work, what kind of conversation do you have?
I mean, all you can say is, "Hey, good game."
What's
I
up?
guess. Do you give a high five? I mean, is it weird when you're at court? Do you high five and be like, "Hey, I thought she was hot too"?
I mean, do you say it's not your fault, bro?
But then
what do you do?
But then when your dudes at work see her mugshot, you're like, dude, I don't even know who that chick is. I've never even seen her before in my entire life. But we never get follow-ups on our teacher segments, and I was so glad to get that. It made me happy. It's the little things in life.
When is she going to go back to substitute teaching?
I'm pretty sure probably not.
Or is she going to have an OnlyFans page?
And then John says, if you work for the Air Force, shouldn't you drive a pilot? I mean, yeah, that does make sense. It does make sense.
Not everyone in the Air Force is a pilot.
No, you weren't a pilot. You were in the Air Force.
I was not a pilot.
What'd you do again?
I was in my military occupational specialty of the MOS was called POL, Petroleum, Oil, and Lubricants.
Oh, man, that makes sense.
That's what it was.
The lubricants. That's what makes sense.
We were part of the supply squadron, and we were in charge of all the fuel on the base.
So you're a fueler.
We refueled jets, ran bulk storage.
So I have hold on real quick. I have
the rest of it.
I have this video that goes along with our teacher, just
Okay.
because I feel it, and this might get us banned as well. But we were late today anyway, so we'll courtesy of our
fucking South Park.
That's
man.
courtesy of our buddy Jeremy Rogers. He sent me that today because I was talking about the show coming up, and he sent that to me.
Fucking South Park it is amazing how
I fucking
far
hate
ahead of the curve they are.
I hate that show though. I hate it, but those little ones there, you get little snippets of good shit.
Well, the guy I used to fly with in Chopper 9 was a huge fan of South Park, and he talked about it all the time. And so he would send me little clips like that. But it's just, I mean, the stuff that they make fun of usually winds up happening.
Yeah,
like right before, during, or after they do a scene like that. Fucking hilarious.
Cincy 513 called you Corporal Jiffy Lube.
Corporal Jiffy Lube.
Ooh, I like that. We might use that. Thanks.
Although I don't think we actually serviced the vehicles. We just simply provided the fuel for them.
Okay. All right. Well, that makes sense.
And managed the fuel for them.
I thought that's what you had said before, but I couldn't remember.
So is people setting themselves on fire going to become a regular thing?
Ooh, yeah. Eric Tansey he posted the actual video, and I didn't pull it, but he posted the actual video of it. Like,
this was the guy outside the Trump trial.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Holy shit. Fucking mortifying. Like gross. So I had to watch it like 3 times, but even still. Yeah, I don't understand why we're doing this shit.
I mean, you had the military guy who set himself on fire. What, about a month or so ago? What did that accomplish?
Absolutely nothing.
He's dead now, so that accomplished that. The dude who set himself on fire yesterday. You see that there's a picture of him with our buddy Bill Clinton.
Yeah,
from a time when he wasn't on fire. But I mean, the guy was just a lunatic. He's a nut. I mean, some of the videos of him that have been posted on the internet. But again, the guy that set himself on fire, protesting Joe Biden's policies as they relate to Hamas and Israel, right? He didn't want to be part of the genocide.
Yeah, I'm having no part of this.
I've already forgotten that dude's name. Right now I couldn't. Even though I'm looking at an article about this guy who set himself on fire. His name is Max. I will forget his name in a couple of days.
What's that headline say? Man who lit himself on fire outside New York City. Trump trial ID'd as anti-fascist agitator Max. Whatever. We're not even going to say it. Final post was singing "Start a fucking revolution."
Yeah,
you're an idiot. You're an idiot.
And you're dead. Why is he dead? Is he dead or is he still?
No, he's dead.
Did he die?
Yeah, he died. That broke last night. That he was in critical condition, then he died. Which, guess what? When your airways swell shut because of the intense heat and combustible gases, yeah. You know what? Good riddance. See you. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck who it is.
It doesn't accomplish anything, though.
Exactly. Nothing.
So if you look, if you're listening,
Jill Billy 007 said his name is Max Extra Crispy. What's his face? Nicely played.
Charbroiled.
I call you retard is what I call you.
No, if you're of a mind to protest something or try to show your disagreement with a political policy or a government policy, that's fine. But setting yourself on fire, okay, it gets you headlines for about 24 hours, and then it's over.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
That's it.
You're going to get some hits on social media and the internet, but you're still not fixing anything.
Well, the guy's a creep,
and I don't even understand.
And nobody wants any part of it.
I haven't looked really far into that story as what his whole fucking stance was. Nor do I care whether he's like so pro-Trump, which I'm a Trump supporter. You're an idiot. You're dumb. Whether he was, some left-wing extremist just trying to make a fucking statement, you're fucking dumb.
Pro-Trump, anti-Trump,
pro-Biden, anti-Biden.
Doesn't matter.
I don't care. That's just dumb. Like, why do we do this? Why do people? And we always say mental health is an issue, but no, that's just fucking stupidity.
Yeah, that dude definitely had some mental health issues.
That's just stupidity, Dan. I don't even think it's fucking mental health. It's just stupidity. I'm glad you brought that up, though. I almost pulled the video that Eric put on his Instagram, but I'm like, you know what?
I don't know.
You know what? I'm not going to do it.
You seen one guy light himself on fire, you've seen them all. Right? I mean,
I've seen it once. It's not very pleasant.
Well,
one time, and I'm good.
I just hope this doesn't start becoming a regular thing. I mean, we've had two of them now in the last few weeks, and
I don't understand if I'm going to make a point like I'm a fireman, but I burn myself on a burner on the stove and I cry like a bitch.
Yeah.
So I can't even imagine that probably 30 seconds of just infuriating pain, because at that point you're burning your nerves and then you don't feel anything at that point after that. But fuck that, man.
The Trump campaign and the Republican National Committee have announced plans to launch an election integrity program. They intend to recruit 100,000 volunteers and attorneys who will work to preserve the sanctity of the November election. I think that's a good idea.
I think it's
something that is long overdue. I think, and I guess
because he's launching it, people on the other side are going to be like, well, it's still not fair.
Yeah, but the Democrats already do it, though.
I understand that.
The Democrats have been mobilizing in this sort of fashion.
It doesn't matter. I agree with it.
Yeah.
I agree with that. But you understand that it's still going to be looked at as, well, if Trump sparked it, well, then it's not going to be fair on the side of the Republicans, where we've been saying it wasn't fair on the side of the Democrats because they stole the election. So again, we're in a big fucking wheel that just keeps fucking rolling and rolling and rolling. Does that make sense? That thought process?
Yes.
Or am I stupid?
No, it makes total sense. But it's the kind of thing that needs to be done that hasn't been done for a long time. I thought Ronna McDaniel, who is no longer the head of the Republican National Committee, should have made this a priority 3+ years ago after the election of 2020. And and Trump's daughter is now the co-chair of the RNC. And so they're making steps to try and ensure that this kind of bullshit doesn't happen again. RNC intends to establish in every battleground state an election integrity hotline within each state Republican war room. Lawyers will be responsible for fielding all incoming questions and issues reported by poll watchers and voters. They'll guide the poll watchers through the appropriate election code and provide clarity on how issues should be answered, resolved, or escalated. Training for volunteers and lawyers for voting, site and tabulation center monitoring will occur every month. So this is the kind of boots on the ground, grassroots efforts needed to be taking place a long time ago, and it's playing catch up to the Democrats who do all this kind of stuff on a regular basis. But it's about time. I mean, you got to get down in the dirt with these people.
Yeah,
and they recognize that 100,000 volunteers. I mean, that's a pretty big number.
That is a big number.
So you might as well. I mean, if you're going to try and do something like this, you might as well shoot big.
Well, hopefully they get it.
I mean, you and I saw 2,000 mules. I mean, those people weren't just doing that kind of stuff on their own. They didn't decide, oh, I've got all these extra ballots, I better go drop them off at the box.
Right?
Doesn't work that way.
That was the mandate that we had that Rob got pissed off he wasn't invited to. It was very good.
He could have come if he wanted.
It was a very good mandate, Dan. Let's hit Ilhan Omar's fucking daughter getting suspended from school. Oh shit. It's not gonna let me do it. Fuck her. I had the story pulled up. But yeah, Ilhan Omar's fucking daughter got suspended
she's high school age, right?
No, she's in college. Barnard College. Which
okay.
I did not search where it is. It ran right along with the president of Columbia University speaking with Congress. Columbia had a sit-in protest and whatever, and I guess they did the same thing at Barnard, and she was one of 3 that got suspended. I didn't know you could get suspended from college. High school, yes.
Yeah, you got to try, I would think.
I mean, I've seen Animal House where fraternities get suspended, but I didn't know that you could get suspended in college. So, and I put in the description, like, do they have a principal's office? I mean, I know some of them have chancellors or presidents or whatever, but it was just funny because you've got Ilhan Omar, who is a complete and utter whack job, and who married a brother or some shit to get in here.
Ilhan Omar?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she did all kinds of dirty stuff.
And now her
to chisel the system and get into this country.
And now her daughter's in trouble, and all of a sudden it's a fucking big fucking deal.
Are they crying racism? Are they crying?
No, it was fucking Palestinian shit. I wish that article would have fucking pulled up the way I had it, but you were late, so I didn't have enough time to figure it out. I'm gonna blame it on you, Dan. Sorry. But
well, here, let me write that one down so I don't forget it.
Yeah, don't forget.
I get the blame for a lot of shit. It's all right. I'll own it.
So, all right, so here it is. Maybe that was not fucker. Social media fucking hates us.
Oh yeah, you'll never get on anything in the New York Times.
She was suspended from college after pro-Palestinian protest.
Okay.
So her college, let's see.
So they're allowed to say from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. They're allowed to say it at colleges all over the country except for hers?
Says she was one of 3 students suspended from Barnard. I say Barnard.
Barnyard College?
Barnyard College, following a pro-Palestinian protest.
I got a doctorate from there.
Yeah. Is that like fucking...
Barnyard College.
It's like Drake.
Where'd you go to school? Barnyard.
Drake University. Isra Hersey wrote on X that she is an organizer with Columbia University Arpathed Divest, which is advocating for the university to divest from companies complicit in genocide. I just received notice that I am one of 3 students suspended for standing in solidarity with Palestinians facing a genocide.
That's all she did.
I'm sure there's more.
That's all she did. She's just minding her own business.
Yeah, she just
got suspended from school.
That's
a terrible.
Peaceful sit-in. Police made arrests on Thursday at the makeshift encampment set up on the university's quad. Columbia University President Manoush Shafiq asked New York police in a letter to help remove the crowd, accusing the roughly 100 protesters of interfering with university operations, failing to comply with policies, and causing damage to campus property. So yeah, she was just sitting there.
Just mind her own business.
There's obviously always more to the fucking story. Demonstrations started on Wednesday as Shafiq testified before Congress, where she was accused of failing to discipline students for anti-Semitic rhetoric. She said the rights of Jewish students to learn in an environment free of discrimination has been a central issue at the school since a Hamas attack on Israel on October 7th. So, yeah, I guarantee you none of this was just peaceful sitting there, fucking just hanging out, playing Words with Friends or whatever. I guarantee you they were fucking.
I've never played. Is that a good game?
No.
Words with
Well,
Friends.
it can be.
How does it work?
We can talk about it after the show, Dan. I'll show you.
Well,
you can't even read a goddamn calendar to get here on fucking time.
I'm
So
just
we're not
saying,
talking about
you brought
fucking-
it up. I'm just saying I've never played it before.
We're not
That's
talking
all.
about internet games right now. We need to focus on your calendar first, step 1, and then we go step 2. And then once we get step 2, then we'll go to 3.
Let me
How's that
see.
sound?
Let me see if our next podcast is in my calendar.
This one was in your calendar. And
I
you're
know.
still fucking late. So
I don't
it doesn't
know. I don't
matter.
know why it didn't send me a little notification.
If you weren't here before we went live in the comments,
Tuesday. The next podcast is Tuesday.
which we have a special guest. Actually,
We do.
yeah.
There you go.
This one was in your fucking calendar.
I know.
I said marriage counseling is imminent because it's going to happen because Dan doesn't really give a shit what I do.
Yes,
The work I
do.
put in. He just shows up all willy-nilly whenever he wants to.
Tuesday, 5 p.m. It's right there in my calendar.
Fucking banker. So you all heard it. You all fucking heard it. So when we have to go at fucking 5:15 because he's late,
I won't be late.
you know why.
I'll guarantee you I won't be late.
We do have a special guest Tuesday.
Are you going to keep that? You going to tell me who it is?
Yeah, it's our friend Dexter Pitts.
Dexter.
We're going to talk about his he just released, and go check out his podcast, I Am Pitts, on all your platforms, but he just released a great episode talking about the year that he was in the Border Patrol.
Oh,
So I was like, hey, would you want to come on one more? And obviously, some people still cross over and listen, but some people don't. So I thought that would be a good topic just with what we have going on in the world.
Dexter. I like that guy.
So he told me today that he's in.
There you go. Make plans to be here Tuesday at 5.
You make plans.
I will
to
be here. I will be here.
Tuesday at 5.
I've already got plans.
Oh, shit. So I like being able to scramble back to things that we've talked about. And our friend Tiffany Henyard from Dolton, Illinois, the quote-unquote supermayor,
Oh, my
as she
God.
says it,
Oh, my God.
she's getting fucked over. So I got a fucking news story for that.
Other big
Play, bitch.
story tonight, maybe the most chaotic meeting yet in troubled South suburban Dolton.
Nate Rogers sorting out another confrontation involving the mayor, the board, and the public. Nate.
Yeah, guys, this Board of Trustees meeting ended early tonight with 4 trustees actually walking out abruptly. The village clerk left early as well. First, I want to paint a picture of what all we were able to experience. It was very chaotic, and to be quite honest with you, frankly honest with you, it was even scary at times for those of us that were inside of the meeting. There were folks banging on the windows and doors of the village hall. About 100 residents showed up at the meeting tonight, but only 42 residents were allowed inside. They had to walk through metal detectors, and they were wanded down. Before I take you inside of the meeting, I want you to listen to what happened outside first.
But at least the majority of the people in Dolton should be able to think like the mayor does. She's scary. She's absolutely scary.
Why can't we get in our public building to have meetings? Why are meetings being canceled? Why can't we have transparency what's going on with our tax dollars?
Several residents calling on Dolton Mayor and Thornton Township Supervisor Tiffany Henyard to resign. She's been criticized for mismanaging village funds and dividing the Board of Trustees. The meeting comes amid a sexual harassment and retaliation complaint against Henyard. A former employee says she was sexually assaulted during a work trip in Las Vegas last year. The complaint says the employee was disoriented and unsure how she woke up inside a village trustee's hotel room.
Whoopsie.
When she
Roofie.
spoke up about the former employee's claims, when she spoke up,
This rag
about
smell
the
like chloroform.
claims she was retaliated against, she says, and later fired. The FBI is now looking into village practices.
You know what happened in Vegas. You know what happened. And you should be addressing it, saying something to the residents about it.
What happened
I
in
have
Vegas
cancer.
stays in
Of
Vegas.
course I do. Tiffany
the
stole
purple.
money from a cancer foundation. How dare you? How dare you steal? And I helped you with your campaign. How dare you steal from us? I had to buy my wigs. Are you going to reimburse me for the wigs that I've been spending my money on?
They say
It's not funny
that
play at
you're
all.
the worst mayor in America. I agree.
Now, no one is in custody and no charges have been filed following that former employee's complaint. Also, the trustee accused was absent from tonight's meeting. Residents said that trustee should resign as well. Residents also wore blue ribbons in support of victims of sexual abuse. Now, back out here live, just a little bit more on background. We've learned that this was the first time that metal detectors were used. The acting police chief saying that they received credible threats even today about this meeting, and that's why folks were taken through metal detectors and wanded down again.
So if you haven't seen our podcast where we hit this before, this chick is she calls herself the quote unquote supermayor.
Yeah.
Mayor of a town, and then also like the administrator of another town, getting paid a shit ton of money. So she, knowing that she's probably not going to get reelected, made a ordinance that like her, I'm trying to remember exactly, and I'd have to go back and look, but like what her salary is like way up here. And then she made it that the next mayor gets dropped down like $60,000 less, like something stupid. So somebody, whether you agree with TikTok or not, there are some funny ass videos of these council meetings where she's trying to run the show, which council runs the town. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The mayor is the figurehead. Council makes the rules. So they've started realizing some of this bullshit and calling her out, and she's getting fucking infuriated. And
Sure she is.
It is the most entertaining shit I've ever seen in my entire life.
It's going to be interesting when she's up for re-election. Number one, will she run? And number two, will these people vote her back in?
Right. So, like,
and chances are she'll probably get another term.
I don't know, man. There's a lot of people in that place in Dolton that do not fucking like her.
Well, did you see what was going on in New York?
Which part? I mean, it's a shit show.
Yeah, New York City.
It's a fucking complete shit show.
You had all these illegals in New York City coming in front of the council, talking about and the people who spoke in front of council were mostly from different countries in Africa, and they're here illegally, and they're talking about the food that you give us isn't any good. People look at us in bad ways. We don't like where you're putting us up, where we're staying. They're not paying a dime for any of this shit,
right?
And then they're coming in, they're saying that, well, we need to have translators who can write instructions. And they're talking about how there's like 50 or 100 different languages, because all these different places in Africa, they all have their own individual languages.
Mm-hmm.
And this one gal says, well, yeah, but if you write it down, that's not good because my son's illiterate. So we need to have it spoken. We need to have like audio clips for instructions on, where to get your food and where you get your free this and your free medical care and your free school and all the rest of this.
It's called a job. Go get a fucking
this gal's
job.
talking about how she's got a son who's either 18 or 19 years old, is illiterate, can't read or write in his own language. And they come here demanding that New York City and Americans bend over backwards to accommodate them. It is beyond ridiculous. And then there was one member of council who finally stood up and said, "This is ridiculous. I mean, you keep asking us for more and more and more." And she says, "And we can't do any more." This her name is Vicky Palladino. And she finally said to these people, "You come here thinking the streets are paved with gold, and they are not.
Hard work."
She's like, we're doing all this stuff. We can't do anymore. But yet you sit there, and this hearing went on for like 2 days. And you tell us we need to do all this, and all that. And so while she's making that statement, who's ever running the meeting cuts her off and says, "Do you have a question? If you'd like to ask a question, you need to ask a question, or we're going to move on."
Because they don't want to hear.
It was one person who finally stood up to this nonsense, and they cut her off. So would you ever want to live in New York City?
Fuck no.
I mean, that place is so fucked up, man.
Fuck no. I would rather
Fucking
set myself
ridiculous.
on fire, to be honest with you.
Well,
I would be.
Don't do that.
I'd be the third if I had to. If you relegated me to New York City, I would just fucking douse my shit.
Don't do that.
I have no desire. I have no desire to go. Zero. Never want to go. If I did go, I want to see the 9/11 memorial and out. I want to be in there for like 2 hours and get the fuck out. Jill said that's a chance you take when you illegally cross borders of a sovereign country where you can't legally work. What exactly do you expect? Which I think is true.
Yeah, it's
fucking idiots.
And they are. I mean, they are demanding so much shit. It's fucking ridiculous. And I just don't know where that sense of entitlement comes from.
No,
and again, if you went to a foreign country, would you for 1 minute think that you have a right to demand of them food, housing, shelter, schooling, medical care? I mean, all that shit.
No.
I mean,
you have to work for that shit. Provide something to fucking society to get those things. I'm all about assistance if it's warranted. But I don't agree with the way this country's assistance for our own people is. When I see fucking EBT cards, being used for a fucking pack of fucking Winstons and fucking Mountain Dew. Fuck you. That's stupid. I see you have it pulled up. You ready?
I'm ready. The boys are together again, making some of the best music of their lives. We're talking about Cincinnati's own Dan Varner. Hooking up again with his longtime friends, Nick, Brad, and Rye, and the Varner Netherton Revival is filling clubs and arenas from the Queen City to Nashville and every place in between.
He's in Nashville right now.
Varner Netherton is more than award-winning musicians and recording artists. They are just playing fun. Their vocal harmonies has crowds of 10 to 10,000 on their feet and singing along, cracking beers. And the best part is you can book them for your event. Check out a show near you and find out more about our buddies, the Varner Netherton Revival. So it's varnernetherton.com is where you want to go on online and just send them an email, varnernetherton.com, and get them to your event. And you'll have a great time.
Absolutely.
And go find out where they're playing. They're in Nashville this weekend.
Well, they're not playing in Nashville.
They're in Nashville.
He's in Nashville. Dan's in Nashville.
I know, and then I got to go to an event for him. So he's got an event coming up in a few weeks.
Yeah, I'll be there as well.
You're going to be there. I'm going to be there.
I will be there. You're apparently a special guest.
Solomon Wilcots is going to be there.
You're a special guest.
Well, you put the big name celebs in there.
For fuck's sake.
You want the big people to come in.
For fuck's sakes. I got another ad.
The guy who was in charge of the starter at Newman today, I walked up to him. He says, "You're Dan Carroll, aren't you?" He listens to the show all the time.
Good.
So I thanked him for that. Great guy.
Your radio show, not this podcast.
Show. 700.
I'm sure you didn't plug the podcast.
I did. I said, hey, I got a podcast too. One more and I'm out of here.
Good work.
He said he would look it up.
Our buddies at Engraved in USA, in business for over 25 years, engraving your business awards, promotional employee and customer, brewery drinkware, golf outing accessories, and promotional and recognition items. If you're a small or global company, we have the team that can design and produce quality items to enhance your business. Call the team of Tanya, Tammy, Tim, or Rich, 513-682-2557, and say, oh shit, I always forget. 100%. Get your beers, take a drink. Cheers. To get the best personal touch from our friends at Engraved in USA. again, we say it every time, but they do a great job for us and other people that have ordered stuff. They can figure out whatever it is that you need. So we appreciate them. We love them. Let me check the comments as I was in another page here.
What about today in history?
I got today in history.
Let's look at some of that.
I know. I'm just trying to grab the comments real quick. Just trying to catch up,
Okay.
Dan. I got a lot going on over here. Today in history. It's actually not a good day in history, but a decent day in history for as far as reading factoids. Today in history, April 20th, 1999, the Columbine High School massacre took place. RIP to everybody that lost their lives there. Actually did change a lot of how first responders are reacting to these mass shootings. So, it always takes something big to get better.
That doesn't always go down the way it should, though.
Exactly. That's a fact. Two students shot and killed 12 classmates and one teacher, and then taking their own lives, which, as they fucking should. 1812, the fourth vice president of the United States, George Clinton. Not George Clinton of the Parliament Funkadelics, just FYI. He died in office at the age of 72, becoming the first vice president to die while in office. Now,
Vice President George Clinton.
So,
right?
Okay.
Okay.
I like history, but I don't dive that far because I had to look at it too. I'm like, I don't even know who the vice presidents were under those older presidents. I have no idea.
I would not, if I was quizzed on that, I would not fare very well.
Oh, I'd fail. When
it comes to vice presidents.
I'd fail miserably. 1861, Colonel Robert E. Lee resigned his commission in the United States Army. Lee went on to command the Army of Northern Virginia in the Civil War and eventually became General-in-Chief of the Confederate Forces. We're in baseball season. 1912, Fenway Park hosted its first professional game.
What year?
1912.
I wasn't there.
Old ass. Oh, are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay. All right. Just make sure.
I'm pretty sure.
While Navin Field, later Tiger Stadium, opened in Detroit, the Red Sox defeated the New York Highlanders 7-6 in 11 innings. The Tigers beat the Cleveland Naps 6-5 in 11 innings. But yeah, Fenway
That was
Park.
the name of the baseball team, the Cleveland Naps?
Yep. Should have been a mistake on the lake, is what I would call it. But yeah, 1912, Fenway. And then 1916.
What's a nap?
The Chicago, I don't know.
Cleveland Nappies?
The Chicago Cubs played their first game at Wrigley Field, then known as Weegham Park.
Never heard of it.
The Cubs defeated the Cincinnati Reds 7-6.
Ah.
Shocker. Every time we go to Chicago, we get this shit beat out.
Reds won last night, though.
But 1912 for Fenway, 1916 for Wrigley. I've been to Wrigley. I've never been to Fenway, and I want to go.
I have never been. I have been to Wrigley. I've never been to Fenway.
Wrigley's awesome. That's a cool place.
Yeah.
It's just, you can feel the history when you walk in there. Let's see. 1972, Apollo 16's lunar module carrying astronauts John W. Young, Charles M. Duke Jr. landed on the moon. Let's see. 2003, U.S. Army forces took control of Baghdad from the Marines in the changing of the guard, in quotes, that thinned the military presence in the capital. And then we have 2010. I don't know if you've ever seen this movie, but the explosion of the Deepwater Horizon oil platform leased by BP killed 11 workers.
I've seen bits and marks in that movie.
Yeah.
I've seen bits and pieces of it.
I thought it was a great movie.
Okay.
We're going to agree to disagree, but
yeah, we're going to disagree on it. The parts that I saw of it didn't look very compelling to me.
I thought it was a good movie. Anyway, all right. So Dan shits on everything that I do.
No, cool. I do not.
In 2000,
do I have to like every single movie that you like?
Yes.
Well, no, I don't.
That's it.
And I'm not going to.
That was in the contract of the podcast.
Well, then I never signed that contract.
I have it. I just got to get it out of Rob's computer. In 2012, a judge ruled that George Zimmerman could be released on $150,000 bail while he awaited trial for murdering 17-year-old Trayvon Martin during February 2012 confrontation in a Sanford, Florida gated
Yeah,
community.
Trayvon didn't like the homosexuals, and he went after that dude first.
Yep. I forgot about this too. 2016, 5 former New Orleans police officers pleaded guilty to lesser charges in the deadly shootings on a bridge in the days of the Hurricane Katrina in 2005. So I completely forgot that happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I went back and looked. I'm like, oh shit, yeah. Like it, you jog your memory. Completely forgot about those guys.
Yeah, Shepard Smith, Fox News, they had an absolute fit about that.
And then just last year, today, a giant new rocket from Elon Musk's SpaceX exploded minutes after blasting off into its first test flight. And now look at what he's done. He's thrown up, I don't even know how many fucking rockets. But you got to start somewhere, right?
At one point, wasn't he saying that it was supposed to do that? That we only wanted to go so high, and then we just blew it up.
I never heard that, but you got to start somewhere. But now they got fucking William Shatner going up and shit.
Well, he already did that.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
He did the suborbital thing, right?
No, he fucking went into space.
Did he go on the Elon Musk one or the Richard Branson one?
I thought
there's 2 of them.
Oh shit! Oh, it might have been fucking. It might have been the other one. I thought it was
essentially
Elon's.
They just go up and then they come back down. They don't orbit.
Yeah, it's like a amusement park ride.
Well,
I'm still not doing that either.
You get to float around in space for a little bit.
I'm still not doing. You might.
You wouldn't do that?
You might be. No, I have no desire.
Because I know Shatner did it.
Oh yeah.
I
don't even know how.
But that was.
I don't know how they stuffed him into that fucking spacesuit. To be honest with you.
Well,
he's pretty. He's a thick fella.
He doesn't cut the same figure he did when he was Captain Kirk.
And fucking Rich said he commanded his own ship, the Enterprise. Nicely played.
It was
good work.
Banging chicks all over the galaxy. The guy's my hero.
Oh my god.
Well, he was.
Would you want to go in space?
I probably wouldn't do it now, but when I was a younger man, yeah, I would have. If I would have had the chance to go, I definitely would have gone.
Oh, that scares the fuck out of me. I mean, I'm intrigued by it, but that scares the shit out of me.
I mean, I understand. The ship can disintegrate on the way in and on the way out.
I don't want to go into space.
A lot of bad things can happen,
and I do not want to go down to see the Titanic either. I have zero desire to.
No, I don't know. If I had to pick a way to go, I'd definitely rather burn up on re-entry than 2 miles under the ocean.
Well, they say it's the same thing.
No, it's not the same thing.
They say it's the same. With the way that fucking submarine fucking exploded, they didn't feel anything. Now, how they know that, I have no idea.
I don't know. But I also read where the people on board that submarine knew that it was going to happen. They knew things were going wrong.
Yeah, they were tapping.
And the guys who were in charge of it was like, well, we're fucked.
Yeah, that sounds...
I don't know. Would you have wanted to know, or would you rather they didn't say anything?
I'd rather them not say a goddamn word and then just let it
let it happen.
It'd be the same thing in space. You just fucking explode. I mean, we've seen the Challenger. We've seen the Columbia. Yeah. You have no idea that shit's... I mean, you may know something's going to happen, but you're not going to feel it.
I think I'd rather go that way than under the ocean.
Yeah, I would. I think I agree with you. I'd rather be up and bad shit happen than under the water. Drowning scares the shit out of me anyway. Not that I would even be drowning, but...
when you're in a submarine that crushes like a fucking empty beer can.
Joe Billy said the Challenger tragedy was enough to scare me away from space forever.
Well, it was very dangerous, man.
Well, Jill, you didn't know this, and I wasn't going to announce it, but I just bought a good plot of land on the moon, so we're moving. So
congratulations.
Start packing your shit.
Congratulations. Sure, your heirs will be fighting over that one day.
Oh, I'm sure they will.
And then we have this. Jason's got a quarter of an acre on the lunar surface.
Got some oceanfront property.
There's no ocean
in Arizona.
Okay.
George Strait. See what I did there?
That's pretty good. I thought you was going to say there was an ocean on the moon.
No, there's definitely not. What else you got? You got anything to finish it out, bud?
I don't know. I think I hit everything I wanted to hit.
You blew your wad coming in late.
Ellie De La Cruz had another home run last night, so he's coming around. Reds.
Was that 5 or 6?
I think that's number 6 or maybe number 7.
Because he was the first. He was the first to hit 5 home runs and 5 stolen bases. I did see that stat.
Oh, really?
But
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know whether that made it or whether he surpassed his 5 home runs.
No, but Ellie De La Cruz has become a very exciting player, and it's great to watch. And
great at hitting, horrible at fielding.
He's getting a little better at that too.
Well,
it's still early, but they beat the Angels last night, and they teed up again this afternoon or tonight. I don't know what time they play it.
Let's get it. Let's go.
And then I got to go to Anderson High School tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Hall of Fame induction. Our buddy Randy Corbett is being introduced into the Anderson High School Hall of Fame.
Yes.
So a big deal for him.
Friends of ours. Actually, I'll pop that up there. Corbett Graphics.
Yep.
Signs and more, enhancing your success. Yeah, that's a big deal. And then our friends Dan
Albers.
Yeah, Dan Albers doing a live podcast from there.
Yep.
Which they're gonna be guests on ours, and we're gonna be guests on theirs. So we're trying to work those dates out.
I'll see him tonight.
So,
and
why don't you work on figuring those dates out while you're there?
I know one of the Anderson swimmers who was a few years ahead of my son, John Vigar, will be inducted into the Anderson High School Hall of Fame. So it's going to be a fun night.
Heck yeah, that'll be good. It's funny, my invite got lost in the mail, apparently. But it's all right. It's fine.
Well,
it's fine.
Corbett's the one. I mean, tickets are like $60 a head.
I'll take it up with Randy. It's fine. Whatever. I'll tear this banner down behind us.
All right. So sorry I was late today. Sorry I made everybody wait a few extra minutes, but try not to let it happen again.
It'll happen again, but
I guarantee I will be here on time on Tuesday. You have my guarantee.
Oh, everybody heard it.
There you go.
Everybody, thank you for tuning in. And again, as Dan said, Tuesday, 5 p.m. Eastern, we will be back live with our friend Dexter Pitts.
That'll be great.
It's going to be a great one. So make sure you tune in and check out the Instagram and hit the merch button on the description, as well as like, subscribe, leave a review.
Am Pitts.
I am Pitts.
That's what they say.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody, and have a great weekend, and we'll see you Tuesday.